Hello, this is Kris Nelson from evolveconsciousness.org. I'll be reading a short note having to do with evil called Exposure to Fear and Evil. This has to do with our ability to combat evil. People need to be exposed to fear and evil in secondary experiences. Then they will be aware of what it is that currently exists and what to do when it confronts them in their own lives. They will not simply cower in fear at the first sight, because they will be familiar with it and know how to respond in the responsibility to stop evil. If you are ignorant of fear, you will be manipulated by fear. If you are ignorant of evil, you will be subdued by evil. Knowledge of evil to cope and combat evil effectively. That's why you have to have knowledge of good and evil, and that's the purpose of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So I have other work on this. Many long presentations and hours of audio that you can go look into to understand evil really and to understand falsity really. So evil exists. Evil must be known. Failure to understand evil paralyzes our ability to combat it. Now, in stressful situations, there's a reaction that can make the fight or flight, but there's also a paralysis mode. Some people can fight. Some people can run. Most of the times, you'll have either running away or you'll be frozen in shock of the evil, because it is such a shock to your way of living, to how you currently perceive reality, your sense of reality, that it'll be an unreality towards you. It's not even real what's happening. That's the shock of the paralysis of a trauma. Again, I've done an audio on trauma recently. And this is the trauma of evil. When evil is presented, it traumatizes us. But we can experience it in a secondary experience where it's less traumatizing because it's not personally associated. But when it's right in front of you in your real life, something happening to yourself or another person, if someone else is getting beat in the street, beat down in the street, and you've never seen this, experienced evil, and that's happening, you're just going to be in shock. Or you're going to run away. You're not going to help. No one's going to help. So this is the problem with not recognizing evil and not having knowledge of evil. This is the real balance. The quote balance is to have balance of good and evil, to know them both. It's not about balancing them in your life. It's about having the knowledge. If we are ignorant of evil that exists, and at some point directly encounter it in our life instead of knowledge of evil through secondary experience, we may end up paralyzed in fear, frozen from the shock, unable to respond in either fight or flight mode, letting it continue and becoming a victim to evil ourselves. If we do not have exposure to understanding fear and evil, we are insulated from the existence of reality and will be less able to cope with greater degrees of evil and inductions into fear that come our way. That's what happens. You're not able to cope. You're not able to deal with the greater evil. And then it just keeps perpetuating. You're insulated. When you don't expose yourself to knowledge of evil, you're insulated from reality. You don't know reality. And then when reality hits you in the face, then it smacks you down and destroys you. Shocks you to your core. It's a huge trauma. So yeah, evil needs to be incrementally understood. Pain and suffering need to be incrementally understood. Too much at once in a shock can shatter ourselves, our sense of identity and our sense of reality and our place in reality. And this is shown also in the movie The Giver. So thank you for your time and attention. Have a nice day. Take care. Peace.